All right, welcome back. We are working on HAPS. It's a happy hour directory that uses LLMs to crawl venue websites and yeah, create a directory so that you can get drunk cheap. Here's where we are. We have yesterday we made some improvements to the prompt that's basically going to extract the happy hours from the crawl of the venue websites. We have the first thing I want to do is work on this. I just have a little to-do list here. I want to add a verbose flag to the CLI so I can see what's happening a little bit better during the crawl. My thinking on this is I want to use this is a Rails application. I want to use a verbose flag on the CLI to basically set the log level for the Rails logger. I think that makes sense because then I can use the same logging on my server and on my CLI depending on how things get executed, and still have a record of what's going on. And yeah, we'll see how that works out. So we are using Aider for as much as we can because really what we're trying to do at the same time is figure out how much can we lean on LLMs to do our job. Right now my current thinking is it's fast, but it's not great, especially for complex tasks. And we want to see what kind of jobs we can give it to save ourselves some time so that we can go faster and focus on the sort of more interesting and harder bits. So let's see. So first we can run this and show you what I'm talking about. I have like venue list. First, I don't like that this is not in a table anymore, so let's fix that. So that's going to be, let's quit this guy, that's going to be in venue command. And then there's some kind of table down here. Let's just tell Aider to fix it. Great. So we have conventions, we have lessons, we have venue command, and if we scroll up all the way up, here we go. Table size. So table size exceeds the current set width. Defaulting. Okay. Table size exceeds the currently set width. I'm not sure if I have my tmux set up so I can copy that yet. Fix the, which one is this? Oops. Oh, fix the list venues table width, currently defaulting to a vertical layout due to table width. Let's see what it does. And while that's running, okay, no, we don't want to add you. No, there's no tests on this. This is just cheap, a cheap sort of like admin interface. Usually I build like web-based admin tooling, but usually you'll have like support staff and people like that running support, and I'm going to be doing support. I'm kicking everything off on this. This is a one-person project. So what I'm experimenting with is, can I use LLMs to build admin CLI tools much faster than I'm going to be able to build web-based tooling, where I have to build views and controllers and routes and blah, blah, blah. So let's just see what we, I'm scrolling in Tmux, not in Vim. Let's see. Sorry, I'm just getting used to my new Vim setup here, or my new Tmux setup here. Okay, so TTY screen width, great. That seems right. Let's go back to terminal and see if that changed anything. Probably have to restart it. I don't have any reload. I don't have any up. But no, our index. So we'll do paste. And so we're already seeing that, this is hitting Claude. It's a little slow. Okay, you're running the tests. There are no tests on this. Let's see what you did. Okay. So my Ruby LSP quit. Let's just try it again. Venue list. Okay, did not help at all. Okay, that is about the amount of time I want to allocate to that. Let's see where we ended up. Okay, it's interesting. So I have this lessons file in here that is basically telling it, when you learn something, when you solve a problem, go ahead, modify that, and that will get prepended to the prompt in the future. This is not really helpful. I'm not going to check that in. I'm not going to send those tokens every time we prompt Claude. And this is not really helpful either. So we're just going to dump all these changes. All right, thanks for nothing. And let's see. So forget about that. What we really want is, so we're gonna let's reset this. We're dropping the chat history. No need to send those tokens back up. What we want is in the scrape command. So this is the scrape command. And we'll open up command just so it has all of that. And then let's look at what buffers we have open. Let's see, what is so we don't need the venue command. Let's take that out. Let's see what we have here. We have command and scrape command. I want to edit the scrape command so that I can set the Rails logger level to debug. I think that's just debug. Yeah, that's just how it's representing multi-line or next line for some reason. To debug with the -- verbose or the -v flags. Let's see what we get. Okay, so it's asking to add the venue command. That's interesting. Let's let it. Let's see what happens. Okay. So far, we're in it for 11 cents. Again, I want to look at our diff here. Okay, we have no changes. Let's see, let's just scroll. Okay, so it's asking us to add scrape. So we can add scrape command. And now we have scrape command should have been there. Make the verbose change. Okay, I do not want to add that. Nope. So here, let's see what we got. So verbose. Okay. So it added it to the venue command, did not add it to the scrape command. Okay, so let's see. Okay, let's just see how we really want this to work. It's been a while since I looked at this, but let's look at command. We have flags, we have call. Really what we want, let's just do this ourselves. So again, let's look, see if there's anything valuable here. Args first. I don't think there is. So let's again check out. So what are we in this for? 14 cents and some time wasted. I think what we really want is this bit here. Call, and then that's going to call execute. So venue command. Yeah, so command just calls execute. So really what we want here is if the args contain help. So let's say else if args include -- verbose, or include that. We want the Rails logger level. Actually, that would, is that right? Level to be debug. Is that what it was? Logger level. I don't know if I don't think I have to say Rails there specifically, but it's fine. I think that's what we want. So now, if we go back to, perhaps let's just create something new in Scrape, and we'll say scrape venue. We'll say this is just going to be foo. We're going to say Rails logger. Rails logger dot debug is this is a debug message, and then we'll say Rails logger info. This is an info message. So let's go back to haps. Bin haps. So we'll say scrape foo. Shit, did I just screw that up? Yeah, scrape. Oh, I forgot to put that in here. So when foo. Okay, I can probably do some reflection on that later. Let's go back. Let's exit. Scrape foo. This is an info message. Scrape foo-v. Nothing. That's interesting. What happened? Dash verbose. Nothing. But scrape foo. Huh. Okay. So I see. So we still have to call execute. Let's go back to this guy here. So let's say else, and then we still have to call execute. So let's go back here, exit, apps, scrape foo dash v, scrape foo verbose. Yeah, and so really now if we go back to foo, it's going to still be verbose because we didn't do this slash info, right? And so you probably want to rescue in there, but right now the whole thing's going to blow up if something blows up, and then the process will restart, so I don't care all that much. But let's just test it one more time. So scrape foo verbose version verbose scrape foo. Excellent. And then let's get rid of our foo. And then let's get rid of our foo. All right, cool. So now that that's happening, we can, let's just go ahead and check that in real quick. Add commit adds verbose flag to CLI. Great. All right, so let's go back to haps. Now we can use it. So now we can say, let's say go to our scrape class. Let's just clean up our buffers. So with Aider, our buffers, when we open buffers and close buffers, they automatically get added as files to Aider, which will add to the context that's being sent. So we want to manage this pretty aggressively. Oops. Scrape command, and what else is in there? CLI command. Great. And now we want to look at our. We have this class. Let's just hide you for a minute. We have a class here that's basically responsible for scraping a venue website for happy hour information. And you'll see here on relative 11, the log event is logging, Rails logger to Rails logger debug. This log is really just storing things in a JSON B column for later debugging. If you can imagine like a bunch of scrapes run and something went wrong on one of them, how do we know? Like without just sifting through like a log file, I want to be able to go to the database and actually see what happened. So now that we have verbose, we can actually say bin haps. And my goal right now, so if we go back to our to-do list, I wanted to add that flag. I want to scrape a few happy hours so I actually have data in the database. Right now, I have a little bit. It's kind of thin. I should probably just destroy all these. Let's just do that real quick. So let's exit here. Let's bin rails C, and we can say happy hour dot destroy all. Great. Come back here. This should be empty. Great. And now let's say bin haps and venue list. And so let's see what has a happy hour that we should pick up. Let's look at prime 16. This one I haven't accounted for. This is has images. That's something I need to come back to. Let's look at Tequila Bar. Does this have a happy hour menu? No. Okay. Trinity, no. Zinc. Does Zinc? Like Zinc does. Happy hour. Okay, so this was actually a problem yesterday. And the problem was it was picking up the general hours that the venue is open as hours that the happy hour was running. So basically we're saying there's a happy hour all these times. Right now we've changed our prompt, and we're gonna see if it will pick up the fact that happy hour is only Tuesday through Friday from 4 to 6. So let's run Zinc. Zinc is 112, so we're going to say scrape venue 112 -- verbose. Really want to say version there. Yes, I do. Okay, so part of our problem is we are getting now a shitload of output. And so want to probably revisit the log level. But it says that we, so no happy hour details. You can see the algorithm here a little bit. We started a new scrape. We're looking for happy hour pages. We didn't find any. These are links specifically to happy hour pages. We're trying the home page. We didn't find any PDFs. PDFs, a lot of times, a lot of restaurants put menus, happy hour menus, and lunch and dinner menus on PDFs. A lot of times that information is there. Didn't find any PDFs. So we're actually just checking the page text, and it says we found a happy hour. Let's see what it came up with. Let's get out of this, and let's say bin rails C, and we'll just do happy hour.last because there's only one of them, and it fucked it up again. Friday through Saturday. Let's just look at all the happy hours. Okay, so once again, it did not get it right at all. It pulled all of the hours. So I have a feeling this has to do with how the data is structured that we're feeding it. I'm gonna have to come back to this. So this is something it's just going to take a while to dial in, right? I think there's a couple things. The data coming in to the LLM that's asking it to pull this data out. I'm not sending all the data. I'm sending kind of a formatted version of the content tree of the page, and then asking it like, what's the happy hour? What I'm guessing is that the way, well, we can actually look. So if I look at venue equals venue dot find, and that was let me open a new tab here. Go to tabs, and I forgot venue list. That was 112. That's right, 112. 112 venue dot website dot homepage. I think it's get homepage. Okay, and so if we say get homepage dot LLM readable text, let's look down here. And so we can kind of make out here that we say Tuesday through Saturday, then a new line, then a time, then a new line, Tuesday through Friday, make a reservation. Yeah, and then it gets, it's not great here, right? Because we have, right, lunch, happy hour, and dinner, without the times being next to the labels. So this is just a problem with how we're actually like formatting the text in the DOM as we feed it to the LLM. So not the LLM's fault in this case, it's our fault. So I'm gonna have to come back to that. Let's look at another one. So what else do we have here? Who else do we have? So Mecca has a happy hour. I think Firehouse 11 maybe. Let's see, bar, menu. It does. I wonder if that, no, it's not loading. So, I mean, you know, we have that problem to deal with. Elm City Social. That does. Okay, this is a different problem. This is picking up the group happy hour page and pulling the happy hour that's available to groups if you bring a group for everyone, which is also incorrect. It's not an easy problem. Okay, Cast Iron, Chef New Haven. So this does have a happy hour, actually a very good happy hour. The problem with this site is that it loads very slow and sometimes it times out. So, but let's just try it. What was that? 101. All right, so scrape venue 101. All right, so this is gonna get noisy again. So I have to decide. Actually, it's not terrible. Okay, so I did find the happy hour. It is going through. So some of this, happy hour started. Yeah, that's actually pretty good. Let's see what happy hour it found. So let's go to over here, and we'll go to C, and this was 101. Venue.happy hours, and let's see what I got. So let's look at the happy hour, and with this one, I think so. There is caching. No, actually, this tells us. Okay, so new happy script, trying happy hour pages. It found one. It found a happy hour page. So if we go back to the home page and we look at the menus, we see that, look, there is a link to a happy hour page. We can click that, and then it first looks for PDFs, because that is, again, the best source of information if we can get it. And it says we're looking on this site. did not find any PDFs. So then it's going to check the page text, and it did find a happy hour. So here's the happy hour. It's Monday through Thursday, 3 to 8, and Friday, 3 to 7. So let's see if it got that right. So we want to say happy hours. There's one happy hour, and then we're going to say happy hour times. And let's see what we got. Monday through Thursday from 3 to 8. That's correct. Great. And then we have Friday from 3 to 7. That's what we wanted, right? Perfect. Okay, so now let's go to happy hour specials. $7. So let's just map the descriptions. Map description. So it's great. $7 wells, cocktails. Let's get out of full screen mode so that we can pull this over. I'm gonna throw this on my other screen, and let's just compare them. $7 wells, $5 cocktails, $3 domestics, $4 imports, happy hour wine $5, clams $1.25, $11 biscuits. So this looks pretty solid. I don't see any errors. It did a good job. And then over here, so we see. So I don't remember. So I'm looking at this mobile view first. I'm gonna blow it up just so it's a little bit easier to see, but not doing much for desktop design at this point. So right now, we do see this, and so this is incomplete. We're not actually seeing the happy hour on the site, and so really I think that's next up. Is how do we how do we go to this view and actually make sure it's doing the right thing? We want let's pull up our to do. So scrape a few happy hours so there's data. That's fine. It's good enough for now. We have 1.5. So we want to make sure the happy hours are showing up on the page. That filter is working. Let's go. There is this happy hour was not on Saturday, and yet it's still showing up. So I don't think we're actually doing any filtering. And then if we go to the happy hour page, nothing there. And this is not correct. So we need some work on our sort of like summary description there. Let's see, do I want to get into that now or save it for next time? So, no changes. Things seem to be working. Let's see if we can bang out in the next 15 minutes. See if we can make this work. Check that off the list. Let's look at the happy hour page. So if we go back to Haps, we look at our routes, we see that happy hours day is going to happy hours index. So happy hour index, happy hours controller. LSP quitting again. Gotta figure that out. I have two different versions of Ruby, and like the LSP is trying to run one and the app's on another. Let's see though. So we have a location. So one, we're not filtering by location. And we're not doing anything with the day. Oh no, here we go. Selected day. So we're selecting the day. We're just not finding anything by. We're not finding happy hours by the day. So I think we want a. Let's look at happy hour. Question here, like, this is definitely something I want to put some thought into. I don't want to just tell the LLM like, hey, this is the problem, figure it out. Like, I know a lot of people do that. I find that it just sort of like it never does what I want it to do. And really, I think that this is where like real programming experience is very helpful, because writing code that the LLM is going to be able to change is exactly the same process as writing code that a future you or future developer is going to be able to change. It's really about like, how much context do I need to consume to know what the fuck is going on so that I can actually make the change I need to make. And we'll experiment with this a little bit, but left to its own devices, like, the LLM is just going to do the dumbest thing it can think of, and that is probably just more and more code in sort of the same places. There's not going to be a lot of like decomposition, and to be fair, the LLM doesn't really have enough context to know where you want to go with the application. So you really need to put some thought into like how you want to decompose it, how do we draw boundaries around the areas that we know we're going to want to invest in, and keep those areas as small as possible, so that when we need to change, whether it be the LLM or future us, we can provide as little context. We don't have to provide 10,000 tokens worth of context to make a small change. So where that sort of leaves me thinking is like, do I want to put some sort of like search into happy hour, or do I want to create a happy hour search? If we look at happy hour now, it's really just a data bag. Has a bunch of relationships. This is kind of the upside of putting search into this class is that how search happens has a lot to do with the data in the database and how it's structured. And so if I put search in here, then as I'm providing context, I really just have to add this class. It knows how the happy hour itself is structured. It doesn't really know how the happy hour times and happy hour specials are structured. What would kind of be interesting is if I could create so I'm using this gem called annotate, which basically throws the table schema at the top of this file. What would kind of be interesting is that if I could create a more specialized class that's like, so I created like a class that's like app models happy hour search, right? And so you had a class that's like happy hour search, and it'd be really cool if I could have annotate, if I could somehow have annotate, like put all the bits of the schema that I care about for this class at the top of this class and maintain it for me. So if I changed happy hour, if I changed happy hour times, if I changed happy hour specials, like that got updated. I'm kind of curious if that's possible. So let's just see real quick. Gem file, annotate. Annotate RB, yeah. Gem annotate. Config. Okay, fuck it. Let's just add ask ChatGPT. I am using the Rails annotate gem to add schema information to, can you guys see that? To the top of each of my active record models. I want to be able to create new classes, and like I actually probably want to be able to persist this. So happy hour search is actually a good active record model, because then I can see what people are searching for. I haven't thought that through. I do want to have saved searches as well. Anyway, come back to that. Is there, so let's say for a second that will be an active record model. Really what I want to say is, like, besides the table that I care about, can I pull in related schemas to tell annotate RB to add additional schema information to the top of an active record model file. For example, let's just use this as an example. In the above file, I would like to also have the schema information about, let's say, happy hour times and happy hour specials. Let's see what Jippity tells us. To include additional schema information by default, it only annotates themselves. How to extend it? So schema information tables, what? Is that telling me to just copy and paste it in? That doesn't really help because it's not automated. I'm not sure why it's asking me to run bundle exec annotate then. You can modify this. Oh, that's cool, because I do want it after. It's kind of annoying every time I open a file to have to look at this. I really want it after. Okay, extend annotate to include related tables. Okay. Is this officially supported? Okay. All right. So it's kind of interesting. Yeah, I do like this idea. So I think a couple things is I'm going to go with the happy hour search active record class, and that will allow us to add like a location, a happy hour day, perhaps time of day, and then extend it in the future. So get that out of happy hour, allow that to be focus. And then it would be really nice, I mean, for, again, Aider or even Copilot to have all of the related schema information at the bottom of that file. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it yet. I'm going to read through this. I'm going to see if there are any other gems. How about we'll just ask real quick. Are there any other gems that do this? They will annotate models. Yeah. Okay, so all right, I'm not sure how much I care. I think it's an interesting idea. I think that yes, I'll go ahead and go with this path for the active record model, just so I have a database record of who is searching what. I think there are also some interesting patterns around, being able to search as a visitor and then being able to maybe create an account and have those searches and sort of your favorites come with you. Not super important though, definitely not MVP. But I think just in general, it will be good to know what people are searching for on the site and like how many results they're getting and stuff like that. So I'll go down that path next time and then think about this annotation bit. Anyway,